The reason why today I will talk with you about this person and his family. Okay. This person, his name is Mahidol Adulyadej. Okay. And he is his name as a father of medicine in Thailand. Okay. He studied medicine at Harvard University, and then later he met his wife. She studied nursing at Simon College. And I and Professor Winey interested why royal family have wealth, why they still keep working for people. They don't have to work. They can just get money that they accumulate from their parents, but why they still working? And based on my research and reading, okay, two major things. Okay. One, their parents taught them to work for people. Second one, this one from my friend, actually, she mentioned that they love people. They want people to have jobs. They want people to be able to have well-being for themselves and their family. Okay. So that's the big picture. And one of my friends, she also mentioned that she went to Thailand during the time that the son of this person, Mahidol Adulyadej, who is the King Rama IX in Thailand, he just passed away. Okay. So my friend told me when I sent the video to her, I sent some of the video to her, she said, quote, "I glad to see why people love him. Okay. And I wish the leader in every country could do good and right thing for people." Okay. So that's the big reason behind why I would like to inform you about the Thai royal family today. And the video is the interview with King Rama IX, interview with Queen Sirikit, and interview with their kids. Okay. And these are the articles that that Professor Winey will post for you guys. It's about the Mahidol Adulyadej, and I will bring this one up after the slide as well. So before we watch the video together, I want to discuss about coins and bill that I passed to you guys. What observation do you get from looking at it and touching it? What do you feel? Yes?
It's lighter weight than the ones we have here.
Oh, I see. All of them or just some of them? The one that you see?
Yeah. I thought the coins weighed less.
I see. That's possible too. And each coin have different weight as well. Yeah, the one that I pass around 4 of them today. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Any other thought?
One of the coins was like 2 different colors.
I see. Yeah. So that one have 2 different materials as well. Okay. Okay. Other additional thought? Yeah.
The bills were they were thinner than like US dollars are.
Oh, I see. I didn't notice that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And for the back of the coin, you see different cases too. Okay. So you can see this one. That's the Temple of Emerald Buddha. And this one is the Wat Benjamat Bapit, Wat in Thai mean temple. Okay. And this one, Wat Saket, And this one, Prapang Wat Arun. So that's the name of the place. Okay, Wat Arun. My sister, she make time to visit different places because she look at the coin and oh, I should make time to visit different places. So I feel this one of the creative thing that people wanna advertise the place to visit as well. And about the material of each coin. So you notice one of the coin have two different color. Okay, that's the 10 baht one. To give more reference, $1 right now is around 32 baht. Okay. And the 10 baht coin in the outer ring is the Q Pro nickel, which is mainly copper and nickel and other elements, which is similar to 5 baht coin. And in the middle part is aluminum bronze. Okay. Similar to the 2 baht coin. You can look, this one you can tell from color as well. Okay. And 1 baht coin is the iron coated nickel. Okay. Any question until this point here? And I will mention about the bill later. Okay, I have some information about the bill as well. Okay. And from now I will show the video about the person at the representative at UN mentioned about King Bhumibol.
Good morning, everybody. This is one of the many days that I feel very privileged to represent the host country of the United Nations, so as to have the chance to address you on such an important occasion. On behalf of the United States, I wish to convey our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to Her Majesty, Queen Sirikit, her children and grandchildren, and to the people of Thailand on the passing of His Majesty, King Mahidol Adulyadej. His Majesty was not only a lifelong friend and partner to the United States, but he also had deep personal ties to our nation. The King's parents met in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where both were studying medicine, his father at Harvard and his mother at Simmons College. His Majesty only lived there as an infant, but his presence is still very much felt in Cambridge. I can speak with a bit of authority on this subject because before I had the privilege of serving in the Obama administration, I was a professor in Cambridge at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. And my walk to and from campus often took me through King Bhumibol Square, which sits adjacent to the Kennedy School and was named in honor of his birth. Walking through King Bhumibol Square, it is not uncommon to see Thai people who had come to pay homage to His Majesty, taking photographs next to the plaque bearing his name in the square. There are several places like that in Cambridge. In the nearby Brigham and Women's Hospital, where His Majesty's mother once worked, hardly a day goes by when Thai visitors do not come bearing gifts, flowers, or small handwritten notes. That is the kind of devotion His Majesty inspired in the Thai people. Nearly 2 decades ago, a journalist asked the king how he wanted to be remembered. He replied that he cared very little about how history remembered him. He said, quote, "If they want to write about me in a good way, they should write how I do things that are useful," end quote. In the eyes of His Majesty, doing things that were useful meant finding a way to solve problems that affected real people. Most importantly, the vulnerable and marginalized people. And as the king saw it, the only way to know what was useful and to understand the problems that people were facing was to get out into the field, into the places where people lived. So the king traveled constantly within his country, in particular to the poor and rural parts, where over the course of his tenure, he would develop thousands of development projects. But it wasn't just that His Majesty went to these places. We see leaders do that a fair amount. It was also how he went. He made a point of meeting directly with locals, be they fishermen, rubber or rice farmers, or primary school students. When he met with officials, he would choose those working at the very grassroots, agronomists, school teachers, policemen. And His Majesty was more than just a keen observer. Being useful meant helping fix the problems that he encountered and empowering the Thai people to do the same. He had a mind that was at once kinetic and deliberate, creative, as we've heard, and scientific. Over the course of his life, he registered nearly 40 patents and trademarks, often for inventions that he built, tested, and modified himself, and most of which aimed at tackling everyday problems faced by the poor. This is completely extraordinary. Take the invention nicknamed the monkey's cheeks, which he designed to address the perennial floods that Thailand experiences. His Majesty remembered seeing as a child the way that monkeys would store chewed bananas in their cheeks so that they could eat them late, and built a system of small reservoirs that worked using a similar principle, storing excess water during heavy rains that could be used later for irrigation. The system of the monkey's cheeks is still being used across Thailand today. Many of the king's inventions fit this pattern, merging conservation with human development. He was decades ahead of the curve in recognizing that what was environmentally sustainable was crucial to the long-term health of communities. Let me conclude. In June 1960, His Majesty returned to the United States at the invitation of then-President Dwight Eisenhower. He was asked to address a joint session of the U.S. Congress. He was just 32 years old. Speaking to Congress, His Majesty said that he had accepted the invitation in part because of what he called the natural human desire to see my birthplace, Cambridge, which he returned to on that trip. But he also came, he said, to affirm our two nations' unique friendship and shared values. As he put it, friendship of one government for another is an important thing, but it is friendship of one people for another that assuredly guarantees peace and progress. His Majesty told members of the U.S. Congress that there was one tradition valued above all others for the Thai people, the commitment to family. He said, quote, "The members of a family are expected to help one another whenever there is a need for assistance. The giving of aid is a merit in itself. The giver does not expect to hear others sing his praises every day, nor does he expect any return. The receiver is nevertheless grateful. He too, in his turn, will carry out his obligations," end quote. Now the king was speaking about the bonds and generosity among members of Thai families. But in retrospect, his words can just as easily be applied to the way that he lived his life, a life of always looking for ways to be useful to those in need, a life of giving and of serving every single day, not to earn praise, not to get something in return, but rather because that is what one does for family. And His Majesty considered all the people of Thailand to be his family. How fortunate the Thai people were to have had His Majesty as a member of their family. And how fortunate we are to be able to learn from the way that this remarkable king chose to live his life. Thank you.
And during the trip to Boston, he had opportunity to meet the doctor who delivered him, and also the 4 nurses that support the doctor as well. And here is the interview of him in his office.
And that's all.
But are you conscious, as King of Thailand yourself, of being able to do something which you feel... How do you see your duty as a king? Why do you think that Thailand should continue to have a king?
It's not for me to say. I do things that I think is useful, and that's all.
But are you conscious, as King of Thailand yourself, of being able to do something which you feel wouldn't be possible without a monarchy here?
Well, I don't know what can be defined as king. That is the big trouble. Because in my position is called, I am called a king. But my duties, if you have noticed, is not the duty of a king. It's something that is quite different or difficult to define. I do things I think that will be useful, and that is all. If you ask me what I had in mind, what the plan I had no plan. Just like I'm today, we are going to have something and we are going to do it. We don't know what the something is, but we are going to do something that is good. That is the plan or the spirit.
You heard the radio sound, right? In his office, he turned on the radio. His purpose is to listen whether anyone needs immediate help for disaster. Okay. He said that's one of the ways to know faster than from the news. Okay. This is when he and the queen, the queen visit people could be in rural area.
She wants to have her photograph taken with the royal family and printed in newspaper. And please send her newspaper because she don't have money to buy it. She's so excited at meeting with the king. Seven children and one of them is a soldier guarding the king.
Anywhere we go, we are looked at, and people are interested in us. They look at us, they don't want to bother us. They want to know more how they eat, how they sit, how they walk. they don't look with curiosity or hostility because they are very happy. You must know that they are well-wishing. They are well-wishing, and they are on, say, intimate terms with us. It's like a big family. These people are looking at us because they like us, and we like them. We love them. They love us. So it doesn't make any. It is no pressure.
Kings and queens of Thailand have always been in close contact with the people, really, and they usually regard the kings as father of nation. That's why usually we don't have much private life, because we are considered father and mother of the nation. So naturally we are all the time with the people.
This one, let me add a little bit. Since you mentioned that people sometimes want to know how we do things, let me add about my experience. My exercise, for example, how I like to do my exercise. Okay, I like to. Anyone here did or doing cross country team? Yeah. Not right now. Okay, great. Oh yeah. So your friend. Oh, you too. Great. So yeah, you might familiar with some of the terms that I use, such as drill. So this one, when I train with when the coach of my sister went to high school, and I practice with her sometimes. So they do thing called drill, DRILL. Okay. So this one, like, you do toe walking outward, and then you do toe walking inward for a certain distance, and then you do heel walking inward and outward. Okay, and you do knee pull, hamstring pull. Okay, and you do high kick, back up. Okay, two sides, certain distance, and they call a skip, like this. Okay, skip. And this one called butt kick. Okay, go up. This high knee. This. Okay, high knee. And that's an example of drill. Okay, and at that time when we train, the coach will have warm up, meaning that we jog for 5 minutes before we do the drill part. And then now we can do either 15-minute run or 20-minute run, and then you do the stretch later. Okay, that's one of the ways that I like to exercise. And the other one is I have my basketball with me. I just bouncing for a certain distance, and also practice shooting without hoop. Okay, but I try to make it straight when I shoot, and then I look. Oh, you catch too. Thank you. Yeah. So I just let you know that find a way that works for you. That's creative process, right? The way that you enjoy exercise. Okay. The interview video, this one, interview King Ramanai's son and daughter. Right now he is King Rama X.
What are the personal pressures on you in your role as Crown Prince?
I don't know what it's like because I have been born the first second of my life. I'm a prince. It's difficult to say what is it like to be a fish. when you are a fish, or what it's like to be a bird, when you're a bird. If you go and ask them, it's difficult, because they don't know what it's like not to be a fish or a bird. In every life, I believe that there are pressures and there are stress and there are problems. And this is one kind of problem you have. It is the same as everybody. There are pros and cons, and there are advantage, disadvantage, and all sorts of things. I'm not special.
How about the twins? How did they come to be adopted? Your mother just happened to see them in the crowd.
She's in the crowd when go to visit Nong Khai. And then she found that the mother has got 9 children and very, very poor. The mother and the children are all pale and sick. So she asked if she can have this twin.
Well, she must see hundreds of thousands of children over a year, and many other children who are equally in difficult circumstances. What was it about these two particular children that attracted you?
Perhaps this is the love at first sight.
Are these the only children that the royal household have adopted, or are there others? And is there some other children just money?
This one.
He's also been adopted.
Yes. This comes from Hukapong. At the cooperative near Bangkok. He always visits the cooperative, and his mother and father are the members of this cooperative. And then one day, the father came and gave the sister of this one, who is dead, and now we have her at school for the dead.
And how did she come to be here? Did your mother just happen to see her? Was it also love at first sight?
And this one, the father gave us, because the mother died of cancer, so he cannot keep so much children. So he's ill also.
How common is it these days for parents to offer children to your own household? Is it very common?
It is not a tradition, but sometimes.
And you were telling me that some of these children can speak a bit of English.
Yes, about nose, ear, eyes.
Can't you?
Counting. He taught me just for fun.
They can't breathe.
Nothing. 1, 2. He said it early in the morning. He won't count now.
And I had the privilege to got the diploma from the daughter of King Rama IX. So I will pass around, and it's one of their duty to give the diploma to students who graduate from undergrad in public university. I received the diploma from her twice during my during my undergrad and my master degree. This is a photo for master degree. And I think the company, they record video and then they make into photo. Because if I remember correctly, during my undergrad year, total engineer I think could reach like 800. So she had to give diploma for 800 people. So they chunk into 2 days. This is the article that I post, that Professor Wani will post for you guys, or already post. And I made some annotated part, okay? So throughout, throughout Mahidol Adulyadej study at Harvard, he preferred to be known as Mr. Songkhla instead of like Prince Songkhla. Okay. Yeah. And this person is Joseph Bryan. He was a professor at Harvard. Okay. And he mentioned that Mr. Songkhla wasn't just come to collect a Harvard degree. He understood how air and water quality, poverty, occupation affect health. And he wanted to do something about it. And at that time, some staff from Simon College also attend this event as well. Simon College is the place where Prince's wife, Sawan Kalapat, study nursing. Here what I have for you guys on the slide are King Rama I. Okay? But the history of people live in the area of Thailand nowadays is further back than King Rama I. Okay? Because they found objects that could date around 4,000 years ago. But for King Rama I, he reigned around 17. Let me take a look. He reigned 1782. Okay, the King Rama I. And on the $100, 100 baht bill. That's a photo of King Rama V. Okay. The next slide I will mention about the text on the $100 as well. You saw some text on it. And here, Mahidol Adulyadej. Okay. And that King Rama IX. So I show the big map so you know the connection. Okay, here is the text on $100, 100 baht bill. Okay, there is some text here. I quote some of the information from there. So this photo shows King Rama V, and they show people who were slaves at that time. Okay. And he mentioned that although slaves in Siam is the name of Thailand back then, is voluntarily today. Having slaves could prevent the civilization and the happiness of Siamese. Slavery should be stopped. And how he ended the slave? He did not just end everyone, you go, now you're not slave. But he ended generation by generation. Okay, this generation end first, then the next generation, and the next generation. So that's how he strategized to end slavery. And this is the photo of Mahidol Adulyadej. I am not sure whether he had 2 sons and 1 daughter. Okay, I'm not sure whether this is King Rama 8 or King Rama 9. And this is his wife. Okay. And that's the oldest daughter. And that, oh, I think I know. And for this photo, this King Rama 8, this King Rama 9. Okay. And yeah, that shot photo. Oh, and Mahidol Adulyadej passed away around his age as 37, so he passed away way too young. And so Princess Mother, this lady, she tried to follow father ideology. Okay, so he worked up to his full potential for this advantage of poor, because it's he feels that it's important to support grassroots people. And I just read recently that she was orphaned. Okay. He wrote the letter to his mother. I do not pick wife from how she was grown up. Okay. I pick from people who have a good heart and want to support each other. Okay. And she mentioned to her mother that she would like to help her children to be trained and educated in the subject that benefit for the country. So that's when she is old. And she taught cause and effect approach to her children. And that's her. That's King Rama 9 and his mother. That's the oldest daughter. And oldest daughter. So the three royal siblings, they perform their duty for the well-being and happiness of people. And liberation from poverty and the prosperous and sustainable development of the country. Okay. This when the King Rama 9 reigned, he told that I shall reign with righteousness for the benefit and happiness of Siamese people. Okay. And you can see this is his camera, so he often carry his camera when he went to work. And this, in my opinion, it's rice, and then he gonna cut it. And this he sit and working with the people in the rural area. And he emphasized that to know the problem, he need to meet with people in that area to know the problem. So he went out and learned from people and support people. That's the queen. And this is the photograph. He is a teacher, and his friend, who is a teacher as well, took this photo for him. Okay. When he had opportunity to give souvenir to King Rama 9. On the photo, he put the sentence here, the sentence I translate into English. I will remember King Bhumibol until I die. At that time, he had conversation with the king as well. When we have conversation with the royal family, we need certain language. We need to memorize different language, okay? And then when king asks, "Are you teacher?" So he have to think about the language, and he's about to start. And king said it normally. You don't need to use that language. So he said, "Yes, I'm a teacher." And the king also asked about his well-being, about whether he has family or is he married. Okay, so he said, "Yes, I'm married." And the king asked, "Do you have kids?" I said, "Yes, I have kids." And the king asked, "Do you have enough income to support yourself and family?" Okay, so he said, "Sometimes." And the king asked, "How do you get from, is your home near your workplace?" Okay. And then he said, I don't remember how long it is, but and is it difficult to travel from your house to, how you get from your house to the workplace? He said, "Bike." Okay. And he told the king, half of the way is a normal road like this, but the other half is sand. Okay. And between that, have a canal without bridge. So it's a shallow canal. Okay, so he need to bring his bike across the canal to get to school that he teach. And he often stay longer than school time. If student cannot read, he need to make sure student can read. And this is him like 60 years after with the photo. So this photo he sent, there are the announcement that they have competition of photo competition, okay, for the person who met the king. Okay, so he submit this photo, okay, and the first time the committee member need to pick 20 photos, and then they use SMS from people in the country to vote. So I think, if I remember correctly, that he get the 3rd place, okay. And then the staff invite him to have the meeting. And this is the photo when King Rama IX showed, I think it's the photograph in the album, okay, to students, and he taught as well. There is a video on when he taught this students. And the reporter mentioned that when King taught students, he called student as kid. Okay, he used the word kid to call student like his own kid. And do you know where is this? I mentioned it. It's actually in the palace. Okay. So I imagine, in palace it needs to be beautiful and everything needs to be so shiny. But he actually have part of his palace to be used for practice agricultural. For example, this one, I think he fed the fish in the pond. Okay. And about the fish in the pond, when the Prince Akihito from Japan visit him, he gave 50 tilapia, and then the king continued the project for people. And these are some of the story from the person who worked with Princess Mother of Thailand. Okay. I will keep it brief here. So when his son need to memorize the poem in German language. Okay, he like, yeah, I don't like it. Okay, but the princess mother tried to find a teacher who teach German. Okay, and then she memorized the poem and then tell her son. Okay, I tell the poem to her son. Okay, that's one of the way her son have motivation to practice. And then if her son need to buy favorite music record, she will let them collect money by themselves. Okay. But if it is for educational purpose, then she buy it for them. And she taught them to start fire safely, plant the tree, dig the soil. Okay. And then she mentioned that people have strength and weakness, so improve the significant one. And she also emphasized, if you put food on your plate, then finish it. Okay, if you're the one who pick it. Okay. And regarding this, I suggest, if possible, reuse your to-go container would be helpful too. And when this one from Princess Silinton, she wrote a note about her memory when she was young. One time she asked the staff, do you know how many grain of rice in the bag? Okay, so she asked this question, and then the staff told her dad that she asked that question. So her dad taught her the way to approximate amount of grain of rice using measuring cup. Okay. In one measuring cup, you count how many grain of rice in it, and then you can multiply to add up to the bag. And her dad also asked her 2 math questions, because at that time, Princess thought math is not important. Okay. So her dad asked question about the water in storage tank, but it's never ending question because the tank is leaking as well. So she aware of the importance of math. And also question about income of a family. Right? If one day the family have emergency, the roof broken, okay, and they need to get money from the bank with add interest to them. Okay, so that's another never-ending question. But she also learned about the price of the perishable product, the price of non-perishable product. And the project of oil from tea seed project. So this project developed because Princess Silinton, she attended science presentation day, and then the associate professor Narin informed her about the importance of oil from tea seed, and then she did research herself and then found that it's feasible. And her staff went to China and bought some oil from tea seed, okay? And then from there they grow the project. Okay? So I want to tell you the process of how the project could develop. Okay? And with that, yeah, that's the information that I would like to share with you guys. And let me know if you have any questions.